Hello everybody, this is Goblin Rabblemaster. I'm starting a brand new channel about modern goblins. I thought it'd be great to have a place on YouTube where we can discuss things. I want to do tournament recaps and gameplay and things like that. I'll be running through a deck list today, my current Goblins Decklist. It's not 8 whack because I felt like that was a little bit stale and kind of overdone for a lot of it. So this is Lord's Goblins. It's a bit slower, but can get some really big hits in. So yeah, we're going to go through this deck, and then I'll do a goldfish with it, and yeah, let's start. The first card is Goblin Chieftain. Really great card. 3 mana, 2/2 with haste. Other goblin creatures you control get +1/+1 and have haste. Probably one of the best synergistic goblins cards in this deck. It's a really awesome card. We have Goblin Instigator. Some people would run Mog War Marshal. Still can't really decide on what the best option is. A lot of people run Mog War Marshal because he synergizes well with Goblin Grenade, which I do not run in this deck for a couple reasons. It takes up slots where goblins could go in the deck, and then it kills more goblins. And goblins are pretty important to this deck running, so it is a lot of damage. It's a great finisher, but I don't run it in the deck right now. So a lot of people run Mog War Marshal because it synergizes very well with Goblin Grenade, but I think Instigator is a lot of the times more consistent because there's no weird haste stuff to deal with or things like that. So I run Goblin Instigator. Goblin King. He is one of the other lords. He's a 3 mana 2/2. Other goblin creatures get +1/+1 and have Mountain Walk. So he's a really fun card. Of course, he's a good lord. He just gives them all +1/+1 and Mountain Walk, which can be really fun. How good it is debatable, but when you really get a hit in with Mountain Walk, it can do some serious damage, and it's really fun. Goblin Warchief. He is another haste enabler. Goblins you control have haste, and they cost 1 less to cast. Haste enablers are pretty important in this deck, as we run Krenko. So Krenko is a 4/of, and that's kind of a lot, but he is really scary when he gets out, especially if you have Goblin Chieftain or Warchief on board, because you throw down Krenko for 1 less if you're playing Goblin Warchief, so he only costs 3. And you create X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens, where X is the number of goblins you control when you tap him. So you throw him down, you tap him immediately, all the goblins have haste, and you can swing for tons of damage. He is awesome. And yeah, I run him as 4/of because he can just win games. Legion Loyalist. He is, surprisingly enough, my only 1-drop. 1 mana 1/1 with haste. Nothing bad there. And a really cool battalion ability. When all your creatures are going in with First Strike and Trample, it can get really crazy. Legion Warboss. He is an awesome token generator. Mentor works really well with some of our other cards, like Warren Instigator. Warren Instigator is really great. It's a 2 mana 1/1 with Double Strike. And when it deals damage to an opponent, you may put a goblin creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. So how this works, which a lot of people get wrong, is first strike damage happens, and you put down a goblin, and then you move to normal combat damage, and you put down another goblin. So he can speed things up really quickly and get your hand onto the board for lethal next turn a lot of the time. Lightning Bolt, it's a great card. I mean, nothing to complain with there. Really good burn. Burn at the Stake. This is a really fun card. It's a 5-drop, so it's only a 1/of because it's expensive, but it's a really good game ender. As an additional cost, to cast Burn at the Stake, tap any number of untapped creatures you control. Burn at the Stake deals damage to target creature or player equal to 3 times the number of creatures tapped this way. So, I mean, if you're tapping 4 goblins, it's 12 damage to a player. It's insane. It's a really good game ender, but it's expensive, so that's why it's only a 1/of. Blood Moon, awesome. It slows down our opponents. It enables Goblin King His Mountain Walk turns on, and you can do a lot of damage when you have Blood Moon out and a Goblin King. And yeah, great card. Blood Moon also doesn't affect us because we run 22 mountains. I mean, there's no weird land. We always have enough red mana. It's just 22 mountains, and yeah, that's really nice. Goblin Crater Maker. This is a sideboard card that not a lot of people know about. I haven't seen him in a lot of decks. 2 mana 2/2, so he's a goblin. Already pretty good. I mean, it's not slowing your deck down all that much. And you can spend 1 colorless to sacrifice Goblin Crater Maker, and it can deal 2 damage to target creature. Not crazy useful. Maybe it'll come into effect 1 or 2 games. But the big thing is destroy target colorless non-land permanent. You can get rid of Aether Vials. It really hurts Eldrazi and taxes. Affinity hates it. It's a really awesome sideboard card. And it doesn't slow you down if they don't have any colorless things out, because he's just a 2 mana 2/2 goblin. So, awesome. Pile Driver, pro blue and insane amounts of damage. He pairs really well with Legion Loyalist because he has First Strike and Trample, so that's awesome. And we run 1 Guttural Response, just for fun. Counter target blue instant spell. It's just so awesome when you counter a counter spell or something, and, you know, it's really cool. Rending Volley, also against blue players. I have a lot of sideboard cards for blue players. I end up playing a lot of them. And yeah, does 4 damage to target white or blue creature, can't be countered. Nothing to argue with there. And then we run Tormod's Crypt. You can tap it and sacrifice it to exile all cards from target player's graveyard. This is an awesome card against Death Shadow, any graveyard, dredge, or anything like that. My policy is play it and tap it on your turn. Just get rid of their graveyard. A lot of times in certain matchups you want to hold it up as long as possible so you can get their whole graveyard. But once they exile the cards for Gurmag Angler or cards like that, then it's too late to crack Tormod's Crypt. So my policy is throw it down, sack it instantly. So yeah, that's the deck. That's the sideboard. I think we're going to do a little bit of a play test here, see how the deck does. Not a great hand, but we will keep it. Throw down a mountain, throw down a Legion Loyalist, swing for 1. Next turn, doing nothing, kind of sad. Next turn, we can throw down a Legion Warboss. Well, last turn we swung for 1. And then move to combat, swing for 2. Next turn, we can throw down a Goblin Chieftain. Awesome card. Move to combat, create a token, and this turn we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 because of Mentor, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage on turn 4. This is a slow game for the deck, surprisingly. And then we can throw down a mountain and really do anything we want. I mean, the Goblin Instigator has haste, we can bolt something, and swing for lethal. So, yeah. That didn't even get Krenko out this game, who's an awesome win condition. But we just do so much damage and create so many goblins really quickly. Oh yeah, and all that damage was First Strike and Trample because of Legion Loyalist. So, yeah, really fun deck. I love to play it, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you like it, I really want to encourage people talking about it in the comments and things like that. Subscribe if you want more. Yeah, thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you next time.